Hi, my name is Joanne Lane, and I've been officiating weddings in San Diego County since 2006. Welcome to my home office. It's important to pay attention to how you feel during your meeting with an officiant. That will tell you a lot. So ideally, you'd like to feel connected to that person. And if you are eloping to San Diego, Skype is then your next best bet. I'd like to emphasize how important it is for you to have that first meeting. My goal is to have my couples be connected during our first meeting together. And I do that with a little exercise I call the 3 things. I will have my couples tell me 3 things that they love, appreciate, and adore about the other. And that does a couple of things. 1, it really sets the tone for our meeting. And 2, the ceremony will be focused on them and a reflection of them. From there, we will segue into your love story. How you met, how you fell in love, your engagement story, and not only the past, but what your plans are, what your goals are going forward as a married couple. It's important too to consider your audience. So in other words, we'll talk about the audience dynamic. We'll talk about any step-parents, any parents and grandparents, and to acknowledge those that really made a special effort to be there. Now, that can be someone who's traveled a great distance, either across the country or overseas, or in the case of grandparents, where traveling can be a big effort. And my favorite part is vows. I will ask if you plan on speaking to each other in the form of personalized vows. Most of my couples will and do like to say personalized vows, and then we follow it up with the traditional I do. And that seems to work for the majority of my couples. If you choose to speak to each other during the ceremony, make sure that your officiant supports you in that decision. And here's some good ways for them to do that. First, make sure that they match in length and sentiment, right? You don't want one person with a novelette and somebody else saying, yeah, whatever, ditto. So you want to make sure that they match and then get them printed up. I like to put them on nice little note cards and hand them to you at the appropriate time so that you're not called upon to speak extemporaneously or to memorize. Very, very important. We'll also talk about any special ways to celebrate during the ceremony, and I sometimes call that ceremonies within the ceremony. And there's several of those listed on my website, and those are, for example, the wine and love letter ceremony or the wish bracelet ceremony. They're all lovely, and again, they're on my website. We'll also want to cover the tone or the overall mood of the ceremony. And one way we determine that is by spending time together. And in our meeting, I'll be able to determine if you are a fun couple, if you're sporty, if you're spiritual, or all the above. And those should be reflected in your ceremony. Most couples tell me they want something fun, lighthearted, spiritual, non-religious, and at or under 30 minutes. And I say, hallelujah, that's a really great recipe for a great ceremony. And from there we can segue into any sort of cultural or family traditions that may be important. Okay, well, I think that does it for now. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding, and thank you for coming into my living room, and I hope to talk to you soon.